Oh my God, she came back.
Oh Lord. Oh shoot.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Talk to Me. That same bug that was in the studio last week
She's
is
still
back.
here. I didn't know they lived that long.
Okay, it's back. It's definitely back. And it's
It
funny.
just came to you, Pascal.
That's fine. Just let it chill with me for a little while. And it's funny because I haven't seen that. I've been here all week long. I haven't seen that freaking bug all week long. And then all of a sudden, when you come back, Monsieur Toussaint,
my luck is just that amazing.
I don't know. Did you bring it with you?
Amazing.
Did you bring it with you?
Are you calling me dirty?
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I'm just asking if you brought it with you.
Y'all heard that?
I'm just.
Why? Yeah.
I'm just saying though.
Guys, apparently I can't.
I'm just saying though.
Dirty. That's
anyway,
crazy.
how you been? You been okay?
I've been all right.
Yeah, what's going on?
It has been.
Talk to me. What's happening?
June and May have definitely been months of revelations.
Really?
Yes, there have been so many crazy realizations, revelations, things I've noticed about myself. Like when they say that you really do a lot of self-discovery in your 20s, they were not joking. And I don't even know who they are.
So you're discovering this.
Yes.
You're discovering that they were
so many things about myself that I've just figured out. That it's you really never truly stop learning.
Give us an example. What are you figuring out about yourself?
Well, I actually have a few different things that I want to talk about. One of the things that I've noticed, and these are things that I've kind of known for a while.
Yeah.
But it's become more prevalent, and I've started to realize how much I really hate it, which is people who are not from New York City doing things in New York City that they shouldn't be doing.
Outsiders, transplants,
Yes.
visitors,
Yes. And you know what? Even sometimes natives.
Even natives.
That just don't know how to act. It's why are you doing that? Oh my God. There are so many
natives who don't know how to act?
Yes. Yeah. Be serious.
I'll tell you. There's definitely. You can feel the difference between a New Yorker and a non-New Yorker.
There is a culture. There is a culture.
Absolutely.
Of New York, and you can tell when people.
And especially now, we're going to get a lot of visitors because of the World Cup.
Exactly.
So there are going to be a lot of people who are coming to New York for the very first time. They're not necessarily transplants. They're mostly tourists or people coming for the World Cup.
Like Trump.
But be ready. And I used to work in Times Square.
Oh.
And I remember, so every day I'd go to Times Square, I worked in one of the buildings there. And I just remember hating whenever I went to lunch because all the tourists would clog up the streets. And I'm like, move it along.
Please. That's one of the things. Let me tell you, this is my list. This is my list of 5 things
I want to hear it
that I absolutely hate about living in New York City. This is my 5.
Even though you do love living in New York City.
I love New York City. This is my home. I love New York City more than anything. But sometimes people just don't know how to act. Truly. The first thing on my list, number 5. Anybody selling water or a can of soda for anything more than $2.
Oh.
If you are selling a can of soda, and I'm not talking about a street vendor, because girl, if you're doing that in the first place, come on now. If you're in Times Square and you're buying something from somebody on the street, be serious. But if you are in a deli and they're trying to sell you a can of soda, not a bottle, a can.
Right, a can.
For more than $2, leave.
Well, that is
it's $1.
There's the economic law of supply and demand.
Right,
that's one. There's also, and sometimes if you're buying certain things in a tourist area,
that's my point.
With people who are
they don't know
the correct prices.
They don't know better,
and they've got a lot of money in their pockets because they're traveling.
They're just gonna spend. They're just gonna spend it because they don't know.
That's the way it is, all over the world.
That is
go into a tourist area and
insane. There's once I was at Bryant Park, and I went into the store, just a normal deli,
right?
Strange enough that I could find one down there first and foremost.
Okay, I understand.
Or near the Bryant Park area,
it's there are plenty of delis all over New York City,
but not like a deli, but not a bodega, not
right. Okay, you don't have bodega outer borough bodegas,
exactly.
Yeah.
But this one wasn't kind of like that. It was a little more fancy, whatever.
Yeah, because
they tried to sell me a Snapple for $5.
And what did you say?
I put that shit down so
exactly.
fast.
You just
that's it. That's it. All right.
Listen.
That shit pisses me off.
When I remember I was in Manhattan and I had just gotten back to New York City.
Right.
And for whatever reason, I was craving a hot dog. Just a regular hot dog. I just wanted a $1.50 max.
For a hot dog, $1.50.
This dude tried to sell me that shit for $7.
Well, absolutely the fuck not.
Absolutely freaking. All I wanted was mustard and sauerkraut.
Please.
I'm looking at him. I'm like, dude, I am not a tourist.
Like, please.
I am not a tourist, and this is not a gourmet hot dog. What the hell?
Right. Like, where do you think we are?
What the hell? This is not Nathan's. He tried to sell me that thing for $7. And like a New Yorker, you know what I said?
Right.
Get the fuck out of here!
No, get the fuck out of my face, bro. Get the fuck out of my face. What the
I went
$7 for a hot dog?
I walked a couple blocks away and I got a hot dog for $1.50.
$1.50, right? Exactly.
Give me a break.
Number 2. Yes. I think you will agree with this one. Number 4 on my list. People who don't pick up after their dogs. If you don't pick up after your dogs, if you let your dog shit in the middle of the road and don't pick it up, you are the scum of the earth.
No, that is
annoying. I hope you know that genuinely you are like a terrible person. Like, I'm sorry.
I've got a lot to say about that. When I was a kid, and this was under another mayor, this was before you weren't even born yet.
What was that like?
The streets of New York were filthy. There was dog shit all over. Every 2 steps, you're dodging dog poop on the block. There was no law.
Nope.
There was nothing that forced people to pick up after their dogs.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why New York City has a problem with rats and cockroaches is because of animal shit.
Absolutely, I understood.
Because agreed. Dogs and cats, their shit literally attracts roaches and mice.
Totally
attracts them.
Totally understood.
So that's part of the
Now there was a mayor. I believe it was Mayor Koch. I think it was Mayor Ed. I believe he introduced the pooper scooper law, and then they were actually selling or giving away these kind of scoops for people to clean up after themselves. And now I see people with the plastic bags and stuff like that.
Right.
But the thing is, it changed that whole
thing. It changed the culture.
It changed the culture. New York changed overnight. And now, you see dog shit on the sidewalk every once in a while, but nowhere like it was back in the 70s. It's like night and day right now.
Let me tell you,
night and day.
I don't know where you live. In Harlem, there are blocks, there are streets where you are literally playing hopscotch in the road to dodge dog shit. It is fucking crazy. Literally like jumping around trying to dodge dog shit to not.
That's the way it was when I was a kid. That's the way all of New York City was when I was a kid. And I have to admit that now, I mean, New York City is far from perfect when it comes to cleanliness, but this playing hopscotch,
wild.
I don't see that much anymore. People in the comments, tell me what you see around your way if you live in New York.
I'm sure in Queens, Brooklyn, and certain parts of the Bronx, I promise you they have that problem. People,
I'm sure there's certain enclaves where you still see that problem. But the thing is, for the most part, people who walk their dogs, for the most part, it's become part of the culture to clean up after your dog.
Exactly, and that's why people who don't. You're on my shit list.
Yeah, well, they should be on your literally on your shit list. Literally on the shit list. Yes,
of course. Okay, number 3, and I know you're gonna relate to this.
Oh, okay.
When white people look at you crazy in your own neighborhood, there's no way.
Don't get me started.
Get the fuck.
Don't get me started. Ooh. Don't get me started.
As a transplant, what the fuck do you expect? But to see a black person in Harlem. How the fuck are you as a white person gonna side-eye a black person and you're standing in the middle of Little Haiti?
Have you heard of gentrification?
Of course. Okay. But that's one of the things about it that is like so absurd, because part of the thing about gentrification is not, and gentrification in New York City specifically, is not only like white people moving into areas and like kind of stripping and removing the culture, but part of that reason is because the housing is so unaffordable in the places that white people typically live, that it's like, okay, they kind of have to move into those lower income areas.
It's also by design. It's also by design. Absolutely. This was all planned.
150%. Like, agreed. However, like, yes, we understand that. We understand that all of this is like,
but don't look at me like I wasn't here first.
Like, exactly.
Don't look at me like this is not my neighborhood.
I understand that you have to be here. But
I get it.
Look at me like I'm the crazy one for living in Harlem. Like, that's insane. Yeah, that's crazy.
I get it. I understand that.
I will never forget the story of my dad like walking like home from the train, and this white woman like literally looking at him like this,
right
over her shoulder, clutching, in Harlem,
clutching her pearls.
Mind you, they live in the same building.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. And so she literally, at one point, she like ran into the building ahead of him. He's like, girl, whatever, goes to get his mail. And then when she like sees him, like when she's leaving the back room and she sees him, she literally like screams because she thinks that he broke in. He's holding his mail and his keys in his hand, like, like, oh my god, like, please have some sense. Please,
I mean, there are a bunch of videos on the internet where you see people accosting people, challenging people going into their own, and it's happened to me before. It's happened to me.
It's very
going
common.
to a friend's house in Manhattan on East 96th Street. I was going in, and instead of ringing his bell, there was somebody in front of me, and I just walked in behind me. So this guy took it upon himself to protect his mother. It's not even his building. His mother lived in that building.
Right.
And he started closing the door on me. And I'm like, oh, no, the fuck you won't. And I barged in, and we had a little scuffle. And I get to my friend lived on the first floor. I get to his apartment. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, but he's preventing me from coming in. Exactly. And I understand, okay, you're trying to, you know what? If you're that scared, call the fucking cops.
Right. Call them, see what they say.
Call the fucking cops. You know what I mean? But no, you're not going to disrespect me like that.
It's just rude. It's just so fucking rude.
And if you were really scared of me, like you say you were, you wouldn't be fighting with me. You'd be running away somewhere.
Exactly.
It's a power thing.
It absolutely is.
It's a power thing. 100%. Like how? Oh, you little black boy! How dare you come into my mom's exquisite building? I'm going to show you how much more power I have than
East
you.
Fucking 96th Street, and I bet that building is infested with rats and cockroaches. So who's really winning? Because guess what, bitch? I don't live there, and your nasty ass mama does.
It was nothing but a power thing. Nothing but a power thing.
It really is. It's just
under the guise of, oh, I want my building to be safe. No, you just wanted to show me
you just don't want black people there, right?
That's all it was about.
It's sick.
That's all it was about. Yeah, I've been through that. Been there, done that. Anyway,
this one is a little sillier.
Yes.
Number 4, people who walk towards the door on the train before the train stops moving. Like, let's say the train is crowded as fuck, and the train is pulling into the station, and somebody, like, of course, people are standing by the doors because it's packed.
Right.
People want to get up and go stand in front of the person standing directly in front of the door and go pick up all their stuff and go stand directly in front of them while the train is still moving before the doors even open.
Hold on. I'm trying to figure out if I did this today.
Why are you going to go stand directly in front of me, bitch? The doors are not even open yet. Like, relax.
Hold on a second. So now you're already in front of the door.
Yes. I'm standing like this in front of the door. Like, the door's behind me, right?
The door is behind you, and somebody tries to stand like right in front of you.
Yes. Like let's say I'm standing like
this. This is you.
This is me.
Okay.
The door's right here.
Behind you. Yeah.
And somebody gets up out of their seat, and they're sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
Get up and come stand right here.
No, okay.
Well, wait, the train has not stopped moving.
Yeah. No. That I never do. No, that's not what I did. What I did was there was a guy standing exactly like you in front of the door. And what I did was the train was pulling into the station, and I positioned myself in front of the other door that had nobody there.
Right. That makes sense.
And the door opened and I got out. Yeah, but that I understand. Like I'm going to stand right in front of somebody who's already in front of the door. Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you? And even then, it's like now you look silly. Your legs wobbling, like moving like that, trying to get up. The train is still moving. Like, relax. Please have some patience. But I need to get up, right? I need to be the first person off the train. The train is still going to stop. The doors are going to open. Like, relax. I cannot tell you how badly that pisses me off. Like, why? Oh, it's so ridiculous. Like, you just look silly. Like that, and then like people doing the opposite and like trying to sit down like just as the train is pulling off, and then they want to pull yes, you're gonna fall over because you decided to sit down at the exact moment that the train starts moving.
I don't think that bothers me.
That doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me,
but yeah,
like you look silly.
You do look silly.
Yeah,
but,
sorry.
A lot of people look silly on the subway.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with looking silly, but still.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? We need to have I don't know, next week or the week after, we need to have a subway show.
Yes.
I take the subway a lot. I stopped taking the subway when I was away from New York. Now that I'm back, I take this. I mean, I've taken the subway my entire life.
I took the subway to get here.
And there's a whole culture.
Oh my God.
Behind the subway, but that's for another show.
Yeah. Okay. Another day. We will.
Yeah, I think that would be an interesting show. Anything else on your list?
The very last one, the number one most annoying thing in New York City. People. This one, we've all heard it before. People who don't know how to walk. People who don't know how to walk. Please.
Wait. What do you mean? What, they're walking wobbly or what is it?
No, where like sidewalks in New York City is like usually like, how do I explain this? It's like there's like 2 lanes kind of. Like,
okay.
Like,
right. Okay.
Like there's enough space in the sidewalk usually for 2 people to walk.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you have the pace of a snail.
Oh, I know what
and
you're
you are walking dead center in the packed ass sidewalk so that nobody can pass you either way. I need you to walk into traffic, like respectfully.
Like move the fuck over.
Like please move over. Like don't be surprised when people are pushing past you because you're taking up the entire sidewalk and walking the pace.
What I usually do is, and this happened just was it today or a woman was walking down the sidewalk. There were some kids with her, and they were taking up the entire sidewalk.
I have one more thing,
and I just had to maneuver myself so I got in front of them. I have
one more thing to say. I have one more thing to say about this. What is that? Mm-hmm. Nothing on my list applies to children. Nothing that I've just said applies to children. Besides maybe side-eyeing black people because that's crazy, but.
In New York?
Yes.
Come on. Nothing. A child in New York has seen all types of people, all types of individuals already.
Also true. You know what? And you're right. Okay, never mind.
I've been side-eyed by people in places like Vermont where they're not that many black people.
Exactly.
But in New York?
In New York, you should know better.
Yeah,
so that
know better.
single one doesn't apply. Yeah. Like that one applies to children.
Right.
Nothing else applies to children.
Okay.
Because they should not know better.
Yeah.
Like a child is not gonna know not to stand up before the train stops moving. Like they're not gonna know that.
Kids.
Like exactly. A child is gonna be playing around, walking around in the street. They're kids. That's what they do.
Children.
Obviously not like into traffic, but like
children are children.
Exactly. But an adult, you're an adult and you're trying to stand up and the train is not even done moving. What the fuck is wrong? Right. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, please have some sense.
Your attire is kind of sexy.
Thank you.
With your shoulder out and everything.
I'm having my hot girl summer.
Your hot girl summer. All right. Have your hot girl summer.
Of course. It is like, well, today it's like 70 degrees. Yesterday it was like 90.
Is it only 70? Yeah,
I think
like
because
70,
it's
right
like
now,
about to rain.
It's
probably raining right now.
I'm looking on my.
Yep. Oh, yep. No, 80 and thunderstorming right now.
There's also a heat advisory.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Okay. It's humid as fuck. New York. It is hot as fuck. New York City is like
New York is warming
boiling.
Up.
It's truly boiling.
New York is warming up.
We went from 30 degrees to 70 degrees
just in a week. Like that
in a week.
2 days basically.
Yeah. So you know what? If I'm gonna dress, if I'm gonna have to wear less clothes anyways, I might as well be sexy about it.
Hey. And remember that song? If you want my body and you think I'm sexy.
And you know what? This is where the generational gap comes in because I do know that song, but I know that from the Vine where they're like, if your name is Junior and you're really handsome, come on, raise your hand.
And I don't know that.
You don't know?
No, I don't know that, but I do know the original song. What's his name? Rod Stewart or something?
Something like that. I don't know. Speaking of that, speaking of a generational gap and things that you don't know,
which is a lot.
Another thing I wanted to talk about. I'm starting to realize that, you know what? I think our generation, my generation, Gen Z, I think we do need to touch some grass a little more. I think so.
Okay.
And do you know what touch grass means?
Get outside, live your life.
Yes.
Do something. Get away from being in front of a computer.
Okay.
Playing games and stuff. I got that right?
Okay. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Go touch some grass, young man.
It's specifically when you're in such a bubble that there are things that are very normal that you don't even understand. That's the best way that I can explain it. Where it's for example, you've never met for example, that you live in your mom's basement and you've never seen a black person before. Go outside, touch grass, please. Talk to people.
Right.
Socialize.
Touch grass.
There are times when it's wow. We tend to have we love to, how do I explain this in a way that
you're talking about Gen Z?
Yes.
Your generation.
My generation is very cognizant of mental illness in the sense of...
Are they?
Yes, we are. Because
I know you are, but is your generation in general?
Yes, we are. Because we are the generation, I feel like we are the final generation that really grew up where a lot of schools didn't really have actual accommodations in place for people who really did need mental assistance.
And they have it now?
Yeah. Well,
I've been out of the school system for a very long time, and things have definitely changed.
Absolutely.
Those things were not available to me when I was in school.
They started to become available, but I believe in my generation, it was still very much something that was the wrong populations were getting it. There was a lot of misdiagnosis specifically around ADHD and very much underdiagnosing.
I could understand that.
ADHD is one of those things where it's simultaneously the most overdiagnosed but also underdiagnosed mental illness because they diagnose a lot of kids.
Can we talk about that some more? Let's take a little break. That's something that I need to learn a little more about. So we'll be right back.
Of course.
Broadcasting from our redesigned website and our mobile app. Music, talk, and connections. Live 24/7 from Little Haiti to the world on Dodor Vibe.
Dodor Rap, Dodor Rap, Dodor Rap. Dodor Rap, where Dodor services here for your purposes. Resume help, printing too. We'll help with translations, English conversations, anything you need to do. No matter where you are, do not stress because Dodor services is here to impress. Don't distress and don't depress. We're here to help you with what you need to do. In the heart of Little Haiti, we're here for you because with Dodor services, we're on the track and we're the best. Back to back, door services ain't what you think. We're not just another business on the brink. We'll never go down on the brink, cause we're the best and the haters think, yeah. Door Vibe out.
Document translation, notary public, printing, income tax, immigration services, ESL classes, employment and resume services, real estate, and much more at Dodor Services, 1814 Nostrand Avenue, Brooklyn, New York.
Dodor Rap, Dodor Rap, Dodor Rap, Dodor Rap. All right, I know you love that commercial. Anyway,
it's my favorite.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure it is. Yeah. We were talking about ADHD.
Yes, ADHD and a lot of mental illnesses in general, but specifically with ADHD, that one tends to be, as I was saying before, overdiagnosed, but also very underdiagnosed.
First of all, let's tell the people what it stands for.
ADHD, attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder.
What are the what I hear it all the time. People always say they have it, but I'm not familiar with what it actually means and what it is.
So it's so funny because I have ADHD, and that is something that's let me see if I can sort of give a good definition or explanation.
And me, the thing is not even really understanding it 100%. There are people that I suspect have it, but I don't know. Sure. I'm not sure. Yeah.
So for me, something that I've noticed in the way that like ADHD manifests in myself is like a lot of times it's the way that we process our thoughts is very different from the way that other people process their thoughts, in the sense of we have certain structures that we build around that gets us to be motivated in ways that other people don't. So, for example, people with ADHD tend to be a lot more focused on reward systems, and a lot more focused on like sort of dopamine, sort of short rushes. Like it's usually very associated with attention and very like short like attention spans, which is why a lot of younger generations like are always getting diagnosed with ADHD, because social media has kind of like pushed this sort of short attention sort of like media, like that is what is very
social media nowadays. Promotes.
Yeah, it promotes. That's the word. Thank you. Yeah, just like very short reels and videos and things that you can scroll and.
Just a little aside. I remember being on the bus the other day, and I'm looking over this guy's shoulder.
Yep.
A Haitian guy, because he was watching Haitian TikToks, and he didn't stay on a TikTok for more than 2 seconds.
Yep.
He was just every 2 seconds, and he did that for a good 5 minutes.
Yep. There was a joke.
Not paying attention to anybody. Just scrolling.
Yep.
For 5 minutes.
There was a joke in a movie I saw the other day where they were like, "Oh, do you want to watch a documentary with me about like turtles?" And by a documentary, I mean like a series of like 700 2-second clips.
And that's what they call a documentary.
Yeah, and that's it now. Like they have this thing called like vertical movies, where it's like. Instead of like an hour and a half film, it's like a bunch of like 30-second clips of the scenes of the movie, and then you like scroll through it like that way.
Oh my god!
It's like,
I've never. Crazy. I understand that, but
yeah, no, it's like insanity.
Listen, I'm a filmmaker. I'm a documentarian. I'm a videographer, and it's so important for people to watch my work in its integrity.
Yeah,
you can't. I oh my gosh!
Yeah, but the films are made.
They're made for that.
Yeah, they're made within that intention that people are going to watch them.
They're actually made like that.
Yes, they're made specifically to be like that.
So it's not like taking a film and then cutting it up so people can watch it like that.
They're made. They're intentionally made. That's why they're called vertical movies.
I've got to look this up.
Yeah, they're usually really bad.
I've got to look this
up. But
up.
also really good.
Okay,
I saw them one the other day that I was like,
I'm going to look at vertical movies.
Yeah. I love to hate watch them. That's been my hobby recently.
Okay.
It's hate watching vertical movies because they're really bad, but they're really good.
Now, a lot of when you talk about ADHD and all these other mental,
I just also want to say that like I very, very highly recommend to go look up on your own ADHD symptoms, because it's a very, very, very complex mental disorder that manifests differently in a lot of different people's. And like my explanation is not always going to match somebody else's explanation, because again, it's also very much shaped by individual experience. So somebody with ADHD might present very differently from somebody else that has ADHD because of their upbringing, the way they were raised, the way they were. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, when I was a kid, I never really heard about ADHD. Nobody was ever talking about
it. Didn't really
ADHD.
Now, again, I think ADHD. It used to be ADHD and ADD.
ADD, right? I mean, I've heard of these, but when I was a kid, I don't remember hearing about these.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this: is there anything in today's society, like the format of social media or media in general or whatever, that kind of creates it, or is it something you're just born with? And
I definitely think that it is a mental disorder. So they're very complex in the way that maybe we have studies that show that there are genetic predispositions to certain mental illnesses, but then at the same time, there are absolutely ones that you can develop.
So these things can promote ADHD or ADD,
they could definitely exacerbate things that are already there.
Yeah.
Like for example, this is a good example. I think. I don't remember the specific numbers on it, but there was a study that was done a while ago that was showing the correlation between depression and ADHD and like specifically kids with depression.
Right.
And I believe the number of children who started out with an early childhood diagnosis of depression that later got a diagnosis of ADHD was incredibly low.
Okay.
But they found an 80% correlation with children who had ADHD to later grow up and get a diagnosis of depression. So it is very, very, very common that children diagnosed early with ADHD will later go on to be very depressed because their experiences and the way that they see the world is very different from the way that their peers do. And that kind of creates an internalized image of shame and loneliness, where a lot of times children with ADHD, they think that they are the problem, where the way that I see things is a problem and the way that I experience things is a problem because nobody else is experiencing this, right? Because again, what I mentioned before, a lot of times children who are very outwardly hyperactive is the very typical ideal picture.
Right. That's what I used to, whenever I hear people talk about ADHD, they're always pointing out
of like the hyperactive,
a very hyperactive kid,
chatty, like kid. But then you miss the little subtle signs of like the kid who is always raising their hand in class and is a very good participator, but hasn't turned in a single homework assignment the entire semester.
Oh, right. Interesting.
Or somebody who never speaks in class, but gets straight A's on all their tests.
Interesting.
When you can manage to like create little ways to get by, they don't see that you're struggling because you're managing.
Because you're getting by. You're getting by.
So they don't really notice until you start to fail, and then it becomes an issue.
Right.
And so again, this is an analogy that I heard a long time ago that actually helped me a lot, which was let's say that you have a car and you're driving down the highway and your car dies in the middle of the road.
Happens to me all the time.
Right. But even though your car is dead, you're smart enough to know that if you get out of the car and start physically pushing your car, that your car is still going to move down the highway. So even though you're not driving 70 miles per hour, you're still at least going 30.
Right.
So you go through life, your entire life, pushing your car, going 30 miles per hour, wondering how everybody else is going 70.
Okay.
Because your car's still moving. So you should be able to get to 70.
Right.
But you're not. You're only going 30.
Right.
Why?
So why?
Because you quite literally have a disability that is making it incapable. And people are just telling you, just drive your car.
So drive. They're not giving me the right solutions to my problem.
Exactly. And that's what I mean by our generation is very different and more cognizant in the sense of we are more aware of the specific intricacies of ADHD and the things that help and the things that don't.
Well, I buy that because my generation never even talked about it. I don't even think.
Exactly.
I don't even think there was a term for it.
Right. But at the same time, I think something that my generation struggles with is going too hand in hand with making accommodations versus kind of like relying on these like accommodations in order to function in the real world. In the sense of like, of course, like there's nothing wrong with accommodations.
Right.
Like I think we actually do need more, and we need to have more meaningful accommodations in spaces where it's not typically seen, like in business settings, in sort of like white collar professional places where if you can't function in a certain way, then you're seen as like useless. You can't exactly. But at the same time, I don't think that having mental illness is enough to excuse having maladaptive traits and maladaptive behavior.
Okay.
So, for example, if you, let's say that you really, really struggle with taking out the trash because you have ADHD and executive dysfunction. And one of the things that you just cannot ever bring yourself to do is take out the trash.
Right.
That doesn't mean that it's okay to let the trash spill out and overflow and stink up your entire apartment and get roaches and bugs.
Right.
Because obviously that's going to be a problem. So when I say that we can't excuse certain behaviors, we can't let the knowledge that we have mental illness stop us from making changes to our lives to account for those mental illnesses and setbacks.
Right.
You can't stop your life because you have a mental
illness, right?
Exactly. You have to find ways to compensate,
and you have a way to cope with it.
Exactly.
I get it.
And whether that be maybe you're going, if it's just something that you cannot bring yourself to do, whether you make a schedule, whether you make something else, when you make whatever. Something that I heard once before that I actually, like something that I do sometimes is when I'm doing work and I like kind of have to like pee or use the bathroom, I just won't go because I know if I get up from my chair and go use the bathroom, I'm not gonna keep working when I sit back down. So I'm like, okay, let me keep working, and I have to be really bad, and it's gonna push me to like actually like try to finish the task that I'm doing so I can get up and go pee. It's really silly, but it works.
Dude, at my age, when I gotta go to the bathroom, I gotta go to the bathroom.
I don't know. Like when that's, unless it's like a task that's like, okay, I'm gonna be here for like 3 hours doing this. If it's like, I'm just trying to like finish writing this page. Okay, let me try to finish it real quick and then go pee. I'm not gonna get up. I'm not gonna stop the task. When I'm in a flow state, I need to be in the flow state.
I understand, but sometimes, you get to a certain age and like when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Exactly. And it doesn't even have to be using the bathroom. Maybe you're like cleaning your room. Or maybe you get into like a good space where it's like, oh, I'm gonna like go take a shower.
Well, I am a big fan of finishing what I've started and taking a break at a good point to take a break. Sometimes if I'm doing something, because it takes more time to switch tasks than it does to just, hey, finish what you're doing now and then take your break or go to the bathroom, do whatever it is you have to do, and then come back and then start a new task or whatever it is you had to do next.
And I, funny enough, work the complete opposite, where I tend to enjoy following where my brain is taking me.
Okay.
In order to make sure that I'm like staying in my flow state.
Understood.
Like, so for example, let's say that I'm working on a project,
right,
and I just cannot focus. I cannot lock in on it. It's just not like I just can't work on it right now, which just opening the page is making me feel sick.
Okay.
And I know that I have something else I have to do, like, oh, I have to clean my room. I have to do the dishes. I have to whatever. Okay, let's pause this project. I'm going to get up, go do something else, whatever. And then, is that what you just said?
No. I think we're talking about slightly different things.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, my mind, I'm very task driven.
Yeah, where it's like you need to finish the task before you can move on.
I need to finish this.
No,
because
if I'm not gonna finish it right now, I'm not going to force myself.
Understood.
Yeah,
that I agree with.
Then the product is not going.
I agree with. But
I have to be in the flow state, because even then, sticking to that project and forcing myself
understood
to finish it, I'm not going to finish anything else. For
understood. But there's some things that I know that if I start this, if I don't finish this now, it's gonna take. And I don't stop me in the middle. Like that's my flow state.
Exactly.
I'm flowing. I'm getting this particular task done.
You see that?
I want to finish this task. The bug is back. I want to finish this task, and then I'll start a new task. I don't like to be interrupted in the middle of a task, and I do believe that most tasks have a good place to stop.
Yeah.
If you do need to continue.
I can agree sometimes, but I think usually for me and in my experiences, I tend to like to just, again, I'm very much like a flow oriented sort of person.
And
so like
everybody has different ways of working, and I understand
come to
that.
a natural stopping point, if I feel like I can keep going and like I'm still kicking in that flow state, I'm just gonna go until maybe I finish the project. If I get to that point and I'm like, or even if I'm not at that point, but I'm like, I can't look at this document anymore, I'm going to move on to the next thing.
This goes into something else that you were mentioning about multitasking. Working on several things at the same time.
Can't do it. Well,
the thing is, they've done a lot of studies, and most human beings cannot multitask.
Really?
And absolutely.
But it's funny because
that is not the way to work.
It's funny because I don't even mean it in just the sense of working.
Yeah.
I mean it in the sense of my sister, sorry to put you on blast, but my sister does this thing that I don't understand. I don't understand how she does it.
Okay.
Where she'll be scrolling through TikToks while also watching a show on like the TV. So like she's on her phone doing this.
Okay.
And what she's doing is she has captions on.
Right.
She's reading the captions of the show while scrolling through TikTok. So she's
I'll tell you something. There is studies have been done on this, and even when it comes to multitasking, there's a big difference between the sexes.
Really?
There's a big difference between the sexes. One of the things that if you look at it from a practical point of view, when you look at the old movies and you see the operators, the switch, and they're plugging in the different switchboards and stuff, and they're transferring calls and stuff like that.
They're all women.
They're all women.
That's true.
Women. Okay. And there was a reason behind that. Women, that type of multitasking, women can do it much better than men do. Now, right before I graduated from school, I got a little job at a switchboard. And it wasn't like that. It wasn't like the old-fashioned switchboard. But we were answering phone calls for doctors' offices. We were answering phone calls for doctors' offices. And the thing is, and it was all kind of computerized. And I remember we would get multiple calls we would get up to 5 or 6 calls at the same time.
Yep.
And we had to juggle the calls and, okay, sir, yeah, blah, 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 and there were a lot of women there. There were a couple of guys there, but there were a lot of women there. And I remember talking to the guy who headed the whole organization. And he said, no, women just do this better than men. And what he told me was biologically, for instance, and it sounds a little sexist, but for instance, women can hear their babies cry in another room far away, and the father can't hear the baby. So there's certain things that women have to juggle from a biological point of view that men never have to deal with.
Yeah. So, and I think it's interesting because it's like you say it sounds a little sexist, but if you think about it, it's actually interesting to see how those sort of like evolutionary sort of developments kind of shaped how like our like current societal sort of like standard of what is acceptable for men and women. Because you say that for example, the men being able to not being able to hear the baby crying from a faraway room while women can. Okay, where it's like maybe evolutionarily, whatever that word is, men haven't needed that.
No, they haven't needed that.
But we are at a point societally where that is a trait that men need to do.
Yes, but the thing is, from the point of view of evolution, it takes a very long time for that to actually start showing up in the population.
And that, my friend, is why I think a lot of times those genetic differences don't really matter. Because it doesn't matter.
Why doesn't it matter?
It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter whether or not you're better at doing it from you. You need to learn to do the trait. You need to learn to pay attention to the sound of your baby crying, despite the fact that it is not something that you have to do before. Because you are a father, and there are going to be times when the mom or whoever the hell is raising your child is not around.
Listen.
And you need to be attuned to those sort of things. Even if you can't hear it from a faraway room, then you need to make sure that whenever you are alone with this child, that child is not far enough
Absolutely.
away that you cannot hear
I'm not excusing the fathers from not being able to hear their babies cry in another room. But going back to the switchboard job, it just plain and simply, the women did it much better than the men. So if the man wanted to do it better, then he had to learn how to do it better so that he can get paid every week.
There it is. Where it's like just saying, "Oh, well, they do it better." Well, I'm a man, so I can't do it. That's the problem.
Well, that's the problem. That's a cop out.
Because that's where you have to start making strategies, and you have to start practicing, and you have to start trying to improve in order to change those strategies. And that is exactly why I say that my generation kind of needs to touch grass. I don't think that we are too sensitive or that we baby or coddle people with mental illnesses or things like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say, though, is sometimes I think that we can make excuses.
Okay.
Like, for example, one of the things that my generation grew up hearing all the time, and you know what, maybe yours did too, is whenever we tell our parents, "Oh, we have this problem, we have that problem, we have that problem," go drink some water. Go drink some water. Go drink some water. You'll be fine. Mom, I'm bleeding. I have a cut. Go drink some water. Go drink some water. Mom, my stomach hurts. Go drink some water. Go drink some water. Mom, I'm tired. Go drink some water. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
just go drink some water.
Exactly. Mom, somebody punched me in the face. Go drink some water. It don't matter. It don't matter. I missed the bus. I missed the bus to school. Go drink some water. It doesn't matter. But the anger that rushed through my body when sometimes I would go drink that glass of water, and guess what?
And what?
I did feel better.
You felt better after drinking water?
I did feel better.
Okay.
Where it's like, sometimes it is simply maybe I just need to go drink that glass.
I think I talked about this on one of our shows where it's like I just realized I was getting dehydrated, and it was just
literally
go freaking drink some water. You'll feel better.
And it can apply to so many things where it's like these sort of like things that are being heavily exacerbated by the fact that we are dehydrated.
Right.
When was the last time you ate a vegetable?
Yesterday.
When was okay, well,
I'm a vegetable eater. I'm a fruit eater. I love my fruits. I love my vegetables.
Oh my God. You know what I've been eating so much of recently? Potatoes. Superfood.
Yeah, I like potatoes.
Fiber, protein.
A lot of people, I posted a picture on Facebook the other day, and it was me from my early 20s. And I said, this is me back in my B-boy days. These were my B-boy days.
What does that mean?
B-boy is just like, the Boogie Boys rap, the old rap. I was a B-boy.
Okay,
here, B-boy. Yes, there you go. So it was one of those pictures.
Like a boy?
It was like, no. It was like, this is from me and my B-boy days. Right. And people are like, "Oh, you don't change. Your face is the same." And I attribute that to really, I don't. I drink in moderation.
Yep.
I eat a lot of fruits. I eat a lot of vegetables. I don't abuse my body.
Exactly.
I don't abuse my body. Abuse my body. A lot of people, they say that all the time. You don't change. Your face is the same. Blah, 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 blah.
And guess who does the same thing? Me.
There you go. Hey.
Yep. I am not. My face has not changed since I was 13 years old.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. There you go.
And
don't abuse your body.
It's hard to.
Your body.
The point I'm trying to make is that again, we should always have care and respect and patience for people suffering with mental illnesses. It is hard to feel better and make substantial change when you are living in squalor. Or when you're not eating properly, or when you're not hydrating, you're not fueling your body. If you have depression or you have ADHD and you are in bed all day because you cannot get out of bed, you're going to feel like shit.
Yes.
Because when was the last time you saw the sun?
Yes.
And again, that's not me saying that,
I've got a friend
just get out of bed. No, it's going to be hard. But don't be surprised when you wake up and go outside and you're like, oh shit, that sunlight and the warmth feels fucking awesome.
This is what I've been missing.
That's what you've been missing. Because guess what?
Yeah.
Again, it's not going to be for everybody, but
I've got friends who I'm like, for me. I go to their homes. I'm like, open up a window. My God.
Oh my God.
It's like a dungeon in here.
Right.
Open up a window.
Right.
And having said that, we've got to take another break. And we will be right back.
Yo, bloody. Sak Dodor vibe la.
O baz, koto keye.
M'tende an pile moun a pale de li.
Dodor Vibe Radio se yon nouvo stasyon radio nan la kou Brooklyn. Yo jwe bon müzik epi yo pay bon informasyon.
Ki jan sa? Mba konen non?
Men Fafan, mwen de Fafan.
Fafan.
Oh, sa nap fe la? Sak pase mesye myo?
Sa ou kon de Dodor Vibe, sa ye men.
Dodor Vibe FM yo relil. Yon nan pi bon stasyon radio nan la kou Brooklyn.
E vre? Kote map jwen li men.
Wap jwen di tout kote.
Ki jan tout kote la?
Tout kote mdi yo. Se yon stasyon sou internet. Depi ou gen internet, wap ka koute l nepot kote ou ye nan le mod entye.
Ouwe, ou te gen le pase mtap bay manti.
Ki fa? Le mod entye?
Jan tendel. Epi gratis ti chéri.
Oh, epien, kote map jwen radio sa.
Rale telefon ou, epi monte sou dodorvibe.com.
Ok. DODORVIBE.com.
C'est ça. Bisous mes amours.
You're chilling with the smoothest sounds on Dodor Vibe FM, bringing you that laid-back vibe straight from Brooklyn.
Chaque samedi 10h midi branché Diaspora Dédoublé. Diaspora Dédoublé, yon émission kap aide ou connaît tout ça kap passé en Haïti ak nan diaspora. Diaspora Dédoublé, yon plusieurs segments. Takou ki kote nou ye jounen jodi a. Journal semaine nan. Invité dans tout domaine. Coin business, débat, analyse, synthèse ak connaît histoire. Rendez-vous à casser chaque samedi 10h midi branché Diaspora Dédoublé avec Madame Dodo. Yon show nous pas gen droit rater. Diaspora Dédoublé sous toute plateforme yo. Facebook Live, YouTube, podcast, WhatsApp, un pilote encore.
Travail la terre, c'est chimé pour pays nous grandir.
What are we going to talk about?
We are going to keep talking about this sort of idea of multitasking and executive dysfunction.
Yes.
We're going to expand on it.
Okay.
Because that is kind of part of a long list of things that I did not actually realize are related. Like, so for example, what I was talking about, like, you feel worse when you have depression or some other sort of mental illness, because, you know, a lot of them are related. So like depression goes hand in hand with ADHD, which goes hand in hand with autism, which goes hand in hand with OCD, which goes hand in hand with all these other things, right? It is very, very difficult to feel better and to try to help yourself take steps to get out of a hole when you are laying down in bed and you haven't showered in 5 days, which is just like real. Like that's real. Like mental illness is not cute. It's not pretty.
It's not cute at all.
Exactly. But like you have to take the small steps before you can move forward.
Got it.
And there are certain things that like I didn't realize were steps that I needed to take and steps that in general were related until recently.
Okay.
And one of those things is always being overbooked. And specifically in the sense of like being the kind of person where it's like, I always have something to do.
When you're saying overbooked, just stay busy.
Yes.
Okay.
In the sense of, today I'm doing this, and tomorrow I'm doing that, and tomorrow I'm doing that, and the day after I'm doing that, and the day after I'm doing that. And before I know it, I don't have a single hour in the day to myself.
When that happens, you don't have time to be depressed.
Nope.
When that happens.
Nope. And by the way, you know what that's called? That's called functional depression.
Functional depression. So you can still be depressed.
Exactly.
And be overbooked.
Exactly. Yes, you can.
Okay.
And something that I didn't realize that was related to, and the thing that I started to unlearn that helps me realize that I was constantly overbooked and burning myself out was people pleasing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Always saying yes to plans.
Yeah.
Even to plans that you really don't want to go to.
Yeah. Now that's not.
It's really rough.
I've never been a people pleaser per se, but I did recently kind of train myself to just say no to things that I really didn't want to do, and without feeling guilty about it.
Exactly, and that's the kicker.
Without feeling guilty about it. I've never been a people pleaser, like just going, just doing anything that people want. But sometimes, you sort of you don't want to say no. But right now, I say no without any excuses. Or I would say no, but I would give like a whole laundry list
of reasons.
Excuses.
Exactly.
I can't do this because of this and that. I was just no. But what? But
sometimes
because I said
just
no.
Don't want to.
Now I just almost like because I said no. I'm not doing this, and that's it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Right.
I'm not going to give you. You're not going to put a guilt trip on me.
Exactly.
And it's just no. I'm not doing this because I don't want to do it. That's it.
Boom. And sometimes that also comes with the grounds of like again feeling guilty for not going to something because like. Oh, you weren't doing anything anyways.
Yeah.
But again, something that is so difficult is like not conflating your free time with your personal time.
Yes.
Because if you are going out 6 days of the week, and that last Sunday is the one day that you have where you don't have any plans and you are looking so forward to that Sunday that you can just sit and relax and mentally prepare and de-stress from the week. And then somebody asks you to hang out on Sunday.
Sorry, this is my day.
Right.
Listen, people in where I live, they know that my days are always full. Right. My days are always full, and I choose to do the things that I do, but I tell them Sunday is my day.
Exactly.
Sunday is my day. Do not ask me to do this.
Yes.
Do not this Sunday is my day. If I want to sit in bed
all day,
that it's my day.
And there's such a big difference between having a day that you can do nothing and just do what you need to do,
or do nothing. Or just do nothing.
And just being free.
If you so choose.
It's just different, right?
Yeah.
Another thing that I noticed is always being messy, which I kind of touched on before, but that is very, very closely tied to this idea of like executive dysfunction and ADHD, where like sometimes it is very difficult to convince yourself or force yourself to do tasks that you do not want to do. And maybe that can be in the moment when you finish eating, putting your dish in the sink rather than leaving it on the table, which again, it can be very little things, but it's like
put your dish in the sink and clean that joint.
Right.
Clean that thing.
But when you have an issue with doing that
over
and over and over and over and over and over and over again, then suddenly that one dish that you.
But how about the other extreme? Like I guess OCD, when everything has to be
perfect,
and I have to. This has to be. I mean, I think nothing is good at the extremes.
Exactly. That's oh my gosh. That's one of the things that I first heard in therapy that I will never forget. Like I have it written down on my phone as a quote. I have a list. This is kind of silly. It's not silly, but I have a list of quotes on my phone that like one day I want to like get as like a huge like piece of like tattoo.
Okay.
On like going down my side of like all of the quotes that have like shaped me as a person, right? Like I think it would be so sick. Like that fun tattoo idea.
Let us know.
Probably seen some.
Let us know when you have that tattoo done.
I will probably be showing it off.
I don't have any tattoos. I want a tattoo right here on my shoulder. I already know what it's gonna be.
I think where's my tattoo?
I don't have any tattoos.
I have one like here. That's like a matching tattoo.
Oh,
my friend. I have one. Right, I have one there.
Let me find out. Right. Let me find out. You got tattoos.
If you know what that is, then you know. And
I don't know what it is, but
one more.
Oh, you're just tattooed up.
Yeah, girl, I got what? Yeah.
What the fuck?
Really? Y'all ain't know?
Regular.
Yeah. What? I got a few.
A regular sailor. What the?
I only have two. I want more though. I want more.
You want more tattoos?
Yeah. They say once you get one, you
don't
stop.
Don't overdo it though.
Right?
Like, don't overdo. I see these guys on the subway
tattoos.
sometimes.
I love a patchwork.
Don't do it on your face.
Don't do it on your face.
Don't do it on your face.
I wasn't gonna do it on my face.
Thank you. That's fine. All right, good. Thank you.
But if I were to get a face tattoo,
oh Lord,
if I were to get a face tattoo, what would it be? Probably nothing. I can't see myself getting a face tattoo. I can see myself getting one at the base of my neck of like maybe like my star sign. I'm a Sagittarius.
This must be another one of these generational things.
Right.
I don't have pierced ears.
Right.
I don't have tattoos.
Really? I have pierced ears.
Nothing. I got nada.
Here's my thing. Again, like I just want to do, first of all, I kind of just want to do it just to do it. But then also because it's like, it's really not that big of a deal. Like it's really not. Like getting a tattoo is like not that serious.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something that like is meaningful to you. But he's literally in front, like get away from me. God damn.
Oh, that fly.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Ooh. Anyways,
The fly is right on time because we're right out of time.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, but next week I'm gonna have a nose ring.
Really?
Right through my nose.
Really?
Right through my nose.
You know what? Next week we'll talk about tattoos and piercings.
We'll talk about tattoos and piercings. So next week, guys, it's been real.
Yes, it has.
It's been fun.
It's been real from the B-boy.
See ya. Bye.